call the Charter Revision Commission regular meeting of June 12th, 2025 to order. Can we have roll call, please?
Yes, Sheila Bailey, Town Clerk.
Nikki Price,
Tom Cremona.
Carl Frazza.
Phil Duman.
Anne Marie Nasuda.
Zach Sinoni.
Mike Ludwig. Rosati.
And Ken Nelson. And I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of March 27th, 2025's regular meeting.
Still moved.
Second,
Motion's made and seconded. Are there any comments, corrections, or concerns? Seeing,
Well, I'm gonna ask a question about, it has Lou Fiore listed? I thought he was off.
no.
Oh, really? He just wasn't,
He did not resign, so he is still a member.
okay, that's it.
Okay. All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you.
Abstain.
Mike abstains. Yep, sorry, Mike. New business, discussion and possible action regarding the town council's recommended changes to the draft report. And I think there was only one,
There was only one.
and the town council requested, well, you were all there, that it be reduced from 5 to 4 for the referendum.
I'm staying at 5.
Can I ask a
Yeah.
procedural
Yeah,
question?
yeah.
Right, which is, I just wanna make sure I'm thinking of this right. If we vote tonight, if we vote no, does that mean it goes back to the council at 5%?
Yes,
That's the way that works.
it is 5%.
Yeah.
So unless we change it, it stays at 5%.
Okay. And so are we voting at this point?
No, I'm
We're
taking
in discussion.
discussion. Zach?
I'll make my comments brief. I know that I had the opportunity to share them with all of you last time when we met with the council. I feel comfortable at 5. I feel it's a number that we all can support, and the document as we had sent to the council is something that I think is something we can be unified and get behind.
Well, you know, at that meeting, the last meeting that we had with the council, discussing it, I was trying to formulate in my mind what I wanted to say about a certain point that happened, but I figure it wasn't an appropriate time to do it, and I figure I'll say here how I feel. First of all, I want to thank Anne Marie, Tom, and Zach for going up there and showing how hard we worked on this topic. It wasn't a simple topic for us. And I just want to go back to my original time that we meet the first time, where I said that I think it was wrong to have council members here as voting members. And it proved my point, Mike, because you were very strong an advocate, you're a strong advocate here, but you know what? You don't get to vote twice about it, meaning, you know, say about it on the council.
Well, actually, he does.
I do.
He does, and so does Bob, and so do I,
But it's
because
wrong.
that's the way it reads.
Well,
Well, we had an option to change that, and we didn't, okay? So you can not like the process, but you were in a position to make changes and you didn't. So to call out somebody, Nikki, is not right.
Alright,
It's not right.
I'm gonna wait till you're done. Are you done? So I can say what I have to say, okay? I am not calling out anybody. I am voicing my opinion alone, okay? It's my opinion, and if I don't like the process, I said it at the first meeting, I don't think it was right. And because Lou brought it up, and I agreed with him. Now, I just wanna say that it's the optics of it, meaning it might have been legal, but I just think it was kind of unethical. I sat there and went, and then he was voicing it, and then Tom got up and everything, and then finally Mike said, well, you know, yes, we did work hard on it and everything else. We did what was best for the town. In other words, we all recognize that the voters should have a say on the budget. How we got there and all the little nuances that went in and out, we all agreed. It was a majority opinion, and that's all I wanted to say. Because Bob didn't want the referendum, and he said it, I didn't want the referendum, but I'm gonna stay with what the charter said, 5%. And you said 5% too. But I just felt like, you know, a person that has, you know, something to say on the council and something to say here to vote, and have 2 bites at the apple, it's not right. So, that's it, that's my opinion. That's all I want to say.
Anyone else?
I'd like to, before we get on to 5 and 4, and when I'm looking at the charter in terms of the definition of 5 and 4, it says, I don't know if I got the latest, but it says that does not exceed the current fiscal year's general fund expenditures.
Correct.
That say budget or actuals?
Expenditures, what we spend. So if revaluation happens next year and there is a huge shift again from commercial to residential, the residents may see a tax increase, 4%, 5%, that has nothing to do with this. This is only just what we spend. So if we chose to give the Board of Education a 12% increase, that would make the town's budget raise more than 5%. Then the residents have a say on it. So it's an increase in spending only.
Yeah, but when it says current year, are we talking about the current year budget expenditure or last June's fiscal year
Well, the
actuals?
current year we're in, because,
Because
so.
I think we need to specify the current budget expenditures.
Well, the current year, we're currently in right now. So if this particular budget, which isn't through yet, we passed it already, if it was 5.5%, we would have to go to referendum because the current year we're in is 5.5% less than what we want to spend. This year it didn't happen, didn't even come close.
Right.
Bill's got the floor.
But my point is, I don't even know what fiscal year 23 and 4's actuals were at this point. So where's my reference point? Is it June of 24 actuals increase? Or I think it should be this year's fiscal budget expenditures to the next budget greater than 4 or 5%. You got to define that, what you're referring to, because it doesn't say budget, it says current year expenditures. It's kind of vague to me.
Well, expenditures is part of the budget. It's what we spend.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with revenues or anything like
Exactly.
that.
I don't disagree with that.
Right, so that's why I think it just simply says expenditures, and I believe, didn't we have the town attorney and John Wilcox go over this?
John Wilcox.
It was John Wilcox.
Yes,
Wilcox.
and that's why they worded it that way, because of the concerns that you're having. We also had them, because John Wilcox brought up the scenario in 23 or whatever, which was a negative, not a positive. And it still went up huge.
Yeah.
And, so that leaves the choice to the council, do we cut to soften that or not? And again, it has nothing to do with this. This would be, and to use the right words, a serious capital tax increase to spend money because we wanted to give the board money, we wanted 30 new police officers and $6 million worth of refuge equipment. That would trigger something like this. Now, somebody had said something to me today, that what happens if a building burns down? Say the town hall burns to the ground, okay? The town is gonna need to rebuild it. How much money is that? Well, one, it exceeds our capital improvement budget, so it would have to go to referendum.
Right.
And, people are saying, well, we're gonna get trapped because of all these people who don't want tax increases. So a referendum will never pass. So think about the history, because we have history here. The referendums that this town has put forward for roads, schools, roofs, 99% of the time they pass. I believe Mike, JFK, failed the first time.
Correct.
And then you went back and had him sharpen the pencil drastically, and he brought the numbers more realistic to the voters, and they passed it. So I don't believe that one group or another controls, the fate of our town, because we have a history that, people are willing to spend the money as long as they know about it. And I think they would prefer to have a say in it. And that's all, You know, 4 or 5%, yeah, it's a huge difference. Does it matter to me? Not that much. Would I prefer 4? Yes, but I'm not willing to lose 5 over 4. Because I do believe the residents have a right to know before they open their tax bill and see their taxes went up $1,200. And that's basically what it's for, is transparency. And if me as a council member, I feel that we need a 7% tax increase, if I truly believe that, I believe I should have to go out there and prove to the residents why. And if I do my job, it should pass. So that was the whole point for this. It isn't to tie anybody's hands, it's just for transparency.
Yeah, if you look at a 4%, I mean, you're talking about, say anywhere, at 4%, you're talking about $6 million roughly increase versus say $7.5, $8 million increase in that range. That would trigger whatever we decide, 4 or 5%. So it's a significant amount of money.
Right, and so you look at this year's budget, we came in under 1%. And it's still $200.
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So what is the tax increase on 5%? If 1%'s $200, 5%'s $1,000. People are still gonna get a sticker shock on that.
Right.
That's huge. And that's why I think certain people are leaning to 4% because $1,000 could make or break some people in this community, and they just should have a right to know. Zach, you had your hand up?
Oh, no, you addressed what I was saying, I remember that when we had the discussion about that, we had sent that language to work with the town attorney and the chief financial officer.
Are there any more questions? I mean, because there's no sense to beat this to death. I mean, people have come in and they've got their mind made up before the meeting even started. Go ahead, Mike.
You can disagree, but use the word unethical, I have a problem with, okay? Sorry, it had nothing to do with it, we're following the rules. I made the argument, I don't appreciate 2 people serving in two offices, but it's state law, it's what it is. So if you have a problem, that's fine, you know, but I'm sorry, your language, I have a problem with.
It's an opinion, Mike.
Well,
It's
I'm
not-
telling you, I
it's-
have a problem with your opinion,
It's opinion.
that's
That's
it.
it?
I said it appears to be unethical.
Whatever, you said it, I tell you, I have a problem with it. You can
I
keep
said
wordsmithing, whatever you wanna do, I have a problem with
I
it.
said
You
it
keep world salad, keep going.
Right. Well, that's talking out of both sides of
Right,
your
keep
mouth
going.
too, because other elected officials, it's okay to hold 2 positions,
Right.
but in this, so, anybody else? So, all in favor of 4%, raise your hand. I would go 4% too, but again, all in favor of 5? So 5 has it, so we're gonna stay at 5, and I believe.
And to be clear, it was Mike,
And Anne Marie.
Ken, Anne Marie, and Phil that were in favor. Okay, thank you. And you, Ken.
Yes. Okay, and next is an approval to submit the final report to the town council. So this was the only change that the council could legally request. So we've just agreed, it's gonna remain at 5%, nothing else changes, so are we all in favor of submitting the final report to the town council? It's unanimous, okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. And hold on. At this point, can we dissolve?
As soon as the council votes to accept the report, this commission is dissolved automatically.
Okay, so we
By law,
don't have
by
to make a
law.
formal action,
No,
okay,
by operational law.
alright, sorry, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Well, did you have something about?
Well, the only thing that I was gonna say that we met quite a bit. I enjoyed being part of this process. We gave and took, overall it, with under, our wonderful town clerk here, Sheila, thank you very much. And, but, I enjoyed the process and, from working with everybody, so, thank you.
I
Thank you,
thought
you
you
as well.
said
Good banter.
you appreciated her assistant more that day she filled in and you wanted her full time. Isn't that what you said, Bob? Maybe I was
She wants
mistaken.
extended time off.
It wasn't recorded, you're good.
Did you have any?
Alright, a motion to
No, it's all
adjourn?
good.
So moved.
All in favor?
All in favor.
Would you have
Thank you,
any guess?
everyone.
We're good.
So we're
Thank
just
you.
gonna
Alright,
go